Hello, hello, hello. I'm under here somewhere. My name's Amber Greenlee. This is Philo. If you have not been here before, Philo is a jam comic that is written by you guys and us and is continued from week to week with randomness going in. I have my guest artist. This is, here, let me actually put you up here. This is Chuck Whelon. Chuck Whelon is a cartoonist that has been doing stuff since like forever. I'll put your name up here so people can see it. And
since I was very little.
Yes. Urfspace.com. If you check it out, you'll be able to check out all of his different comics. There's links to a bunch of other stuff. I know you're doing Art Battle this week. We'll talk about that later. I also have, this is Archimedes here hanging out with us. You can kind of see him there. And then yeah, and then we got our artsy going on here. So where I left off last time, let's see, the kaiju sent off their survivors in a pontoon boat away from planet Kaiju, which turned into Earth and then blew up. And so Philo lands on like New Earth, and there's Rodan sitting there fishing, and that's where we left off. But I think that was the end of the flashback. Let me open up my chatty here so I can see what people are saying, and that way I can respond to people. So let's see. Oh, Magic Marmot. Hi, Chuck.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hi,
that's what he
Magic
says.
Marmot.
Yeah, okay, so do you want to take first panel or do you want me to take first panel?
I don't mind. I can take first panel.
All right, excellent.
I'll I have no idea what I'm doing. I tried to follow the story.
There is almost a story. My hope is that eventually all the elements will come in. Where we kind of left off in the story was they were having the dance off with the Beagle Boys. And so they are in a money bin in Meow's lair. There are other henchmen of different sizes and vocations and genders and stuff about. And Philo and the gang are dressed up as a horse creature, and his name is Horsey, and he is the minion of Meow, but he is not brainwashed like the other minions are. So yeah, henchfolk as Magic.
You know what? I tell you what, I've had a better thought. I think you better draw the first panel so I can get an idea of what some of these people that we're going to be dealing with, because we're going to draw 6 panels between us, right?
Yeah, we're gonna.
Right.
Well, we might draw more than that. It just depends on how far we get.
Or how fast we can go. Okay.
Yeah, how fast we can go. You know, if there has been times when I've only done 3 panels myself because I was drawing like kaiju and courtrooms and a lot of backgrounds and stuff, and so. Now we are there. So let me start my thing. So today is the 13th, the almost scariest day of the year. Hi Dale. Ooh. Yo, who is that Mohawk nerd? I think he meant nerd.
No, he's calling me a ne'er-do-well. They're calling me a ne'er-do-well. I don't know who that is.
Ne'er-do-well who speaks like an Australian.
Dally Kip or something. I think it's like a Dalek, maybe.
Yes. He thinks you talk like an Australian.
I think that person probably talks like this. Exterminate.
Okay. Yeah.
It's better if you do it into a mug or something. Yeah.
Well, I always thought the fan sounded like a Dalek. Like a Dalek.
A Dalek.
I'm sorry. That's the American way of saying it. And you laugh at me, but, you know, I'm American and I can't help it.
Can we have a Dalek in the strip?
Yes, exactly. So we could have a Dalek. You could have a Dalek. Okay. So what I'm thinking
He's my favorite artist.
Is there's a dance-off going on in the money bin. I think that would probably draw attention from people. And so maybe we should the dance-off draws attention. That's what I'm gonna put for my caption. So what?
Dance-off. the Dalek says pants off, dance off.
So you want me to have a Dalek saying pants off, dance off?
Yes.
Yes, excellent. I will do that. Okay, so I'm gonna have like the minions coming in the door and seeing what's going on with the dance off, because I imagine like music's playing and stuff. So what happens after that? Because then that's your panel and you can start drawing it now.
Oh, okay.
Kay says Beagle Boys lose their pants. I think that might be what happens. And Dale says, I want to see Dalek butts.
All right. So what's happening in your panel?
I'm having the minions coming in through the door of the money bin because they're drawn in by the dance off and the music.
Okay, so in my panel, I'm going to do like Daleks wiggling their butt.
Okay. Yeah, you can do that. Kay says that the Beagle Boys lose their pants.
Oh, the Beagle Boys lose their pants.
Yeah, that's Kay's suggestion.
Okay, I've got an idea for that. All right, I'll do that.
Okay, yeah, just put in the caption, and you should be okay. Let's see, we're gonna have...
do the caption first. Yes, all right. So, what is the caption? The Beagle Boys lose their pants.
Yeah, Beagle Boys lose their pants. That's the caption. Thank you, Kay.
Yes.
Let's see, do Daleks have butts? Hot plump mutant Dalek butts behinds. I would think that they're kind of like these snivelly, like octopus-like creatures, aren't they?
Yes. They're like inside the Dalek. They're like a little octopus. So I guess they must have a butt. They just sit on their butt. They're like a big butt, really, with tentacles.
If you think about it, octopi, do they have butts? Not really.
But they were once humans. They were once humans, and they were genetically experimented on by like this guy Davros. We found out later, but he sort of kind of created them. But they were originally started off as humans, but they were sort of basically experimented. They were no. Well, they're from an alien planet, but they were human-like aliens.
Oh, I see.
The Carlids and the Thals, and the Carlids and the Thals had this war. And in order to win the war, Davros created the Daleks, which were started off as sort of out of human genes, and they're bred. They're all the emotion except for hate is bred out of them, and then they're put in like their own personal mobile assault vehicles. Which over the years it's been revealed that they're more or less a flying tank. They can. Yeah. They don't have any. At the beginning, people say, "Well, you can stop them with stairs," but you can't.
Well, yeah, because they made them fly since. It's the same thing.
Well, it was a big deal, yes. In the 80s with Sylvester McCoy, they had the Dalek went up the stairs, and that was the end of the first episode. You were like, "Oh my God, Daleks can go upstairs."
Well, if you think about it, it's the same thing that happened with Superman. Superman couldn't fly at first, and then you had some writer write himself into a corner, and then he's like, "Oh, Superman can fly now," and then another writer wrote himself into a corner. He's like, "Oh, he has super breath now." And another writer wrote himself into a corner. He has X-ray vision now. It's funny.
Yes.
Davros was a creep, says Kay. Ducks can live without pants, but criminal dogs. Octopi have butts, says Dale. They cost extra at sushi joints. The rectum is muscle and muscle is meat. Tuna butthole sushi is very expensive. All of the businesses need to be Dalek compliant. It's considered a disability, says Magic Marmot. And then Kay continues, if you take the top off a Dalek, you see plump, evil butt.
Yes, you'd have to take the top off a Dalek. Well, maybe that comes later. Because what I'm going to do here with the Beagle, I need a reference to the Beagle Boys. Wait, I forgot what they look like.
Yes, that is one of the benefits of being on like the internet, is that you have all the reference in the world that you need.
Yes, so I did grow up on those like Carl Barks comics.
Because Kay mentioned it, now I have to draw a duck as one of the minions. Yeah, so we're going to have a duck as one of the minions. Let's see. And then we have robots because Dale established that we have robots as part of them. And then there's cats. I'm sure that this makes no sense to anybody, but it makes sense to me. And that's what's important.
Okay.
Yeah, I will put you up because your drawing is actually a lot, more sense making than mine. No, I assume that Daleks have a back panel that flips up so the Dalek can poop. I imagine that they're like tanks that they live in would recycle that stuff, right?
Wait.
I mean,
I'm allowed to draw a butt, am I?
Yes, you are allowed to draw a butt. This is an 18 plus show. It is not necessarily for kids. So yeah, I think I'm gonna draw like a Yeti here, because Yetis are just big things of fur. Yeah, I'll put me in the main panel while you're sketching your Beagle Boys.
Yeah, I'm just sort of working out where everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody is. I don't know. I kind of tend to do a bit, but I don't really. I just sort of draw it out, really. But I'll figure it out as I go.
Well, and I mean, you see my sketch, so it doesn't make sense to a lot of people, but it makes sense to me. So.
Yeah, I like to sort of write the expressions with the faces a lot, and then the bodies I'll sort of work it out. But like I kind of like to, kind of just go right in and do an expressive face.
Let's see, and I think we're gonna have this kitty in like, I don't know, just kind of like a kitty pose, I guess. Yeah. Let's see. Dear dog, don't Google Dalek butt images. There are things you can't unsee, says Magic Mark.
The internet's had too much time to work on that.
If Daleks have to eat their poop, that would explain why they are so mean, says Dale. Yeah. I don't know if Robin's in. Let me check. No, she's still not in yet. Her phone died, and so she was working on it.
I don't really need to look up reference for a Dalek too much.
You've seen them so many times.
I've drawn them.
Yeah. Poor Robin, says Dale. Yeah. Let's see, and then we're let's do a duck here.
They have two. They have the plunger, which can also be a claw, but they've gone back to the plunger. They tried a claw at one point, but they've gone back to the plunger. Now the plunger can sort of change its shape and do all sorts of things. The plunger's got creepier.
Yeah, we're gonna have like a, I don't know, not like a Howard the Duck figure, but it's kind of a goofy looking duck.
The key to the Daleks is they're always quite funny, and if you especially go back in like earlier ones, they're even funnier. But they're also extremely evil. So it's you can enjoy.
Oh, there's Robin.
Yeah.
A prehensile plunger, says Magic Marmot. Okay.
You laugh at them and they're comical, but then they do atrocious things.
Okay. Give me one quick second. I gotta get Robin working here. There you go. Hi, Robin. Here is my better half.
Where is this dance off taking place?
It's in the money bin.
Oh, in the money bin. So it's on top of the money.
Yes, on top of the money, next to the money. There's money all around.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I used to like the money bin. Scrooge would go and have a swim in the money bin. I did like those car, but I didn't know anything about car barks, but I did like those comics when I was a kid.
Yeah, it's interesting because when you're a kid, you don't think about who's making the work until you're older, and then you look back at it and you're like, wow, this guy's really good. Stephen Notley drew a few Daleks in Bob the Angry Flower where Dalek Sec would climb out of his armor and relax in his hot tub.
Oh, Dalek Sec. Okay, so he's one of the newer generation, the Dalek Sec. I've watched the whole thing and I learned a bit about Dalek Sec, but I've forgotten it all. He's a bit different from. He's a bit of an abnormal Dalek. You know, the Daleks have a lot of leadership crisis all the time. You know, sometimes they want Davros, their creator. Sometimes they hate Davros. I'm not sure what's going on with them these days, to be honest.
Well, I kind of stopped watching the new Doctor Who when Matt Smith left. You know, it wasn't that I didn't think it was good or anything. It's just that it kind of fell out of my life at that point.
Yeah, then they reboot it. Wait, so who was directly after Matt Smith? Oh, actually, though, Peter Capaldi. That's a great Doctor. Actually,
can we hear you now, Robin?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yay, we can hear you now.
I had to go back to my regular phone that's charging. It's at 20% because my old phone is not getting any internet, and I can't put the data on it because it's not. Well, I guess I could throw my SIM in there, but whatever. It's all figured out. Sorry about the delay.
That's okay. You know, we were just talking about, British sci-fi and who would be a minion of Meow.
Is there a moratorium on politics?
Are you? I just heard the news about.
Yeah, I hadn't heard the news.
So did I. I just heard the news just now, and I was like,
It's terrible tragedy. It's terrible.
Here's my question: do you think it was an official act?
Well, like an actual assassination attempt?
Like, is it an assassination if it's from another government? I guess it is. Yeah, or if it's from your government, yeah.
You think Canada tried to kill Trump?
No, I say your government.
Oh my God, you nailed it. That's what happened. Robin's right.
No, I don't think Canada tried to kill Trump.
Wait.
No, I
don't understand how other people got killed. Like, there was one person who died and two other that were critically injured. Like,
oh dear. No, it's terrible.
I don't think that's an assassination attempt if more than he got killed. I don't think these people were jumping up to try and save him. I didn't read much into it, but I didn't get the impression they were standing in the line of fire. So to me, it sounds like not a spree, but somebody who's angry and not necessarily a precise plotted assassination attempt.
No, it's a radical leftist who's been stirred up by the left.
Oh, Dale says no politics, please, 3 times.
Okay, well, it's kind of crazy. Like, when was the last assassination or the last time a president or a former president ever was in the line of fire? Like, it was Reagan, wasn't it?
Reagan was the last assassination attempt. I think the last successful assassination of a political figure in the United States was Robert F. Kennedy.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think it's crazy piece of history, but okay, we can.
It's more news and less like politics. We're not like going rah 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 rah.
No.
We're like
Yeah.
But yeah,
we believe in all religions equally.
And it's a tragedy that someone died. Like, that just seems crazy to me.
Again, I haven't even read the news yet. Chuck told me before we started. So I am in the dark about what happened.
That's American news when you have to hear your news from a British person.
Yeah, it is. Okay. So I think
I am in America. I live in America too, and I've lived here longer than I lived in England. So I don't.
Yeah, and you were talking about this morning on your own show that you do our spelling. So
yeah. Well, if I do any sort of spelling, I just say that US spelling tends to be easier. Yeah. I heard that it's because it changed less.
Yes. Okay. So we have Capaldi was magnificent by K. Daleks look like something you could buy in the 1966 Dr. Mueller sex shop in the Frankfurt airport. And then no politics from Dale. Let's leave the story alone. And Richard Simmons died today. Yes, I heard about that. Along with Dr. Ruth, I heard about that. Let's go back to
Richard Simmons died today?
Yeah, Dr. Ruth died today.
Oh, no, I know about Dr. Ruth, but I didn't know about Richard Simmons. Oh my God.
Yeah,
and then yesterday was Michael Zulli, which is awful. And then
there was just hits out on it was just a lot of hits out on 80s TV stars. That's why
And then
they hit all of them.
It's not like they're coming of age or anything.
It's like Dr. Ruth. Yeah, they were all big on the telly in the 80s.
Yeah,
they were. The other thing that happened was, I had it in my head, now I've lost it. Something else happened that was crazy. Oh well. It's been a horrific week. Like, so much stuff has been happening.
Yeah.
It's not good stuff. That was it. Neil Gaiman has been accused of sexual assault by 2 women. So there's like all that. Like, it's just like, what the heck? It seems like the world's going to hell in a handbasket. Anyways, I have a funny Dalek story. You want to hear it?
First, let's figure out what we're going to do for panel 3. So, looking at panel 2, let me put up Chuck real quick.
Oh my God, why am I looking at Beagle Bums?
We're looking at Beagle Bums because this was a suggestion by Kay. Yes, so
I'm contractually obligated to come on the show and draw.
Yeah, it's basically pants off, dance off. And I think you're going to have to make the Daleks say that in your panel.
I'm just following orders. I was just following orders.
Yes, and so we have Beagle Bums. What happens after the Beagle Bums?
Well, they have to dance, don't they? Isn't that the whole point? Pants off, dance off?
Well, now they were cheating. Does this mean that they win or lose?
Is this the punishment for cheating? Losing their pants?
The way I was doing it is the Dalek is zapping their pants off in order to...
Okay.
Well, I don't know why. Well, I guess we'll have to find out why. Just it's having some fun.
Okay, so the Dalek zaps her pants off, and maybe the Dalek's taken away for sexual harassment.
HR whisked him away.
That's the least of its crimes, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's like genocide. Genocide is like usually on the list with it.
Let's see. The world is going to hell in a handbasket. I've got a funny Dalek story. Tell the Dalek story, says Dale.
Yes.
It's really short. In my past life, I was a daycare worker.
Mm-hmm.
And I did it for like 11 years. And so I worked with a lot of young kids. And there was this one child. He was 2 years old. His name was Ivan. He was a little boy with like sort of long, cherubic, blonde, wavy, not curly, but wavy hair. And he was the funniest kid. Like, he just did the weirdest things sometimes. Anyways, his parents were really hardcore nerds. And at 2, they had him saying, Ivan, what do Daleks say? It's little 2-year-old. Like, he was such a little ragamuffin. He could have played Oliver Twist.
I don't know. Parents these days.
No, this was a long time ago. I thought it was excellent.
Parent teaching your kids the right thing.
Oh, you know, I think that it is sharing with the youth something that you enjoyed when you were young.
That's more acceptable in Canada. Look, you're in Canada. That's more acceptable there. If you did that in the United States, they'd lock you up.
What?
They don't know what a Dalek is. Like Amber does, but she's special.
In that class, we had a kid who I swear she was trans, because when she introduced herself to me, she was 5. I should say they were 5, and they introduced themselves as Katie, but everything about them was a boy. The way they dressed, the way their hair was. When they played with the other girls, they did boy roles. Like, before I left, there was like a month where Katie was obsessed with tuxedos. And so her parents were letting her dress in like this collegiate outfit where she had like a shirt and a black navy blazer and like tan pants, you know what I mean? And she was in her element. And this kid is probably got to be about 19, 20 years old right now. I bet dollars to donuts this kid is a he or a they. I bet. And I don't know, that daycare was in Vancouver. It was just way more open-minded. I really loved working there.
Oh yeah, I knew a guy here when I was doing children's books more, and I was in the Children's Book Society, and he'd done a book about his kids who had like wanted to wear a dress in the class. His son, I guess, had wanted to wear a dress in the class and all this, and that was a very nice book. And yeah, I mean, it's there's a lot of kids that want to do that, and
Have you ever seen the French movie My Life in Pink?
No, I'd watch it. Sounds good.
It's interesting because it's basically about
it's Belgium. It's a Belgique movie actually. And I know it called Mon Vie en Rose because I saw it.
Oh, Mon Vie en Rose. Okay.
Yeah. I had to think about it too, right? Like I was just like, my life and people. That's Mon Vie en Rose.
That's good. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. It's about the little boy who thought that God screwed up and forgot his chromosome to be a little girl because he was in love with his neighbor.
Well, I just remember, his father's reaction was, no, this isn't good. And then, towards the end of the movie, he runs into a little girl that trades costumes with him. So he gets to wear the little dress and she gets to wear the cowboy suit. I took that away. And his dad, doing the little dance with him towards the end, accepting his son or daughter for who they are, Yeah. Let's see. So it's.
I did not take that away. That's not what I took away from that movie at all.
I don't really remember it very well. It's been so long.
I remember the child trying 15 different ways to be a girl, and the mother sort of just accepting it. But then the town that they lived in just started not accepting it at all, to the point where the little boy was ready to castrate himself.
Yeah, and they
and
they moved out of that town. And at the very end of it, when they're in the new town, that's when he meets the little girl who he trades the costumes with at her birthday party. It's a big plot point in the movie is the fact that they did find people that accepted them in the world. I think you were you pulled different elements out of it, but it's something that we both should probably rewatch.
Yeah, I agree.
More out of it.
But I just all I remember is the tragedy of it. Yeah. But one thing that was really cool that I got to see is because I lived in Vancouver at the time, and it big city in Canada, and they had an excellent film society and stuff there. In the year 2000, well, actually in 1999, the Cannes Film Festival commissioned a bunch of directors to do a movie about the year 2000.
Yeah.
And so I saw 3 of them. I saw the Canadian one, and I saw the American one, and I saw the Belgian one, because the Belgian one was done by the director of Mon Vie en Rose. So, anyways, the Canadian one was done by Don McKellar, and it's my favorite movie, period. Literally, period. I'm not exaggerating. Everybody always asks what my favorite is, and it took me years to decide, and the Canadian one is my favorite. It's called Last Night. And the American one is The Book of Life, and it's done by Hal Hartley, who I love. And PJ Harvey plays Mary Magdalene, and the guy who played Henry Fool in the movie Henry Fool plays Satan, and Martin Donovan plays, I think, Jesus. And they're all trying to find the Book of Life, and it's a laptop that they're after. But the big novelty was that PJ Harvey was in the movie.
Yeah.
Oh. I'm friends, well, sort of friends. I mean, I know him quite well. This guy, James, who plays in her band, he's on tour with her at the moment.
Yes, I know. She's playing Toronto in a couple of months. I'm thinking about going to see her if I manage to get my shit together before it sells out. I've never seen her, and I would really love to see her. There's been at least 2 or 3 albums of hers that have been obsessively compulsively played in my life.
In November, Jonathan Colton is going to be opening for I don't remember the name of the musician, but I'm going to go for Jonathan Colton, and probably leave shortly after he's done playing. Because
that's so mom.
Well, I mean, I'm not there for, I'm not there for her.
The other person might surprise you.
Yeah. Okay, I'll listen for one song.
I mean, you paid for it. Might as well listen for one song. If you don't like it, you can leave.
But $45 is worth it to me to hear Jonathan Colton play 3 songs,
Nobody's disputing that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, you have an opportunity. If you don't like even the first 3 notes, you could leave.
Yeah.
But I would take a second and listen.
You and your want of me to support artists like myself.
Broaden your horizons.
Okay. So am going to let Chuck know where
Hello?
I left off so that he can start working on panel 4. Yeah, so it's a pants off, dance off.
Dalek funk.
Let's see. Let's do this in blue.
A Dalek funk.
Oh, pants off, dance
Dalek
off.
funk.
All right, that's great.
Yeah. I realized you didn't put it in your panel, and I didn't put it in my panel. So, yeah.
I think that's the name of my next band, Magic Marmot. I really like that Dalek funk. That sounds. Oh,
let's see. Okay,
they're not Daleks, so.
Comments. Let's see. Daleks are horrible and evil, but really they are a villain for kids. They're kind of silly looking. No, I've not seen the movie. If Daleks have butts, do they fart? 1999, and the Beagle Boys open a bagel shop, says Magic Marmot. Magic Marmot, no, that is why when they say exterminate, that is why it's so loud. The smell is trapped in the armor. Magic Marmot says Dalek Funk. And Dale says, supposedly, Sammy Hagar is going on a Van Halen cover band tour with Michael Anthony.
Michael Anthony?
I think, yeah. Dale got some good points there. Daleks are a villain for kids. But Doctor Who's a kid show. That's why people keep getting annoyed with it. Because like every time the BBC reboot it, they do it as a kids show. And anybody who's not a kid, like, wait, why are you making a kids show? But then it sort of goes on, and it'll sort of grow up with that bunch of kids for a little while. But then they reboot it as a kids show again.
I only ever watched the season with Michael Eccleston. Or no, Christopher Eccleston. Eccleston.
It's pretty good. You know?
That was good. That was one where they were doing it a little bit more mature. I thought, oh, they were going to do it. But even so, it was still really, for kids. But it always sort of reverts to being for kids. The BBC can't help themselves.
Yeah. So I
trying to appeal to all audiences.
I have a Dalek going pants off, dance off, and what happens after that?
Oh, can I make a suggestion?
Yeah.
You should make them
lose their pants. Okay, the Daleks pants off, dance off. Okay, that's what's happening. All right, then what? Yeah.
No, I think you should make certain parts of the Dalek circles light, like a like different light colors, like just to do one or two, so it looks like it's like like a disco, right?
Yeah.
Pants off, dance off.
Oh, you mean like this?
Yeah, just color in one or two of them so it looks like they're flashing different lights. I don't know.
Let's see.
He's a disco Dalek. Well, he's Dalek Funk. Sorry.
My internet connection's been very crummy lately.
Well, if you drop, just come back in the room. I'll let you in. Let's see, I'll do this so then that way he's like.
All right. So I still didn't get an answer for whether or not their pants getting removed was a punishment for cheating, or if it's just everybody has to take their pants off.
I don't know. It was definitely the Beagle Boys that lost their pants. Are the Daleks just removing pants at random now?
Well, yeah, the Dalek. I don't know. Yeah, the Daleks. So the Daleks have zapped the pants off and said "pants off, dance off." So the Dalek wants to have a pants off, dance off.
Right. So then it
now somebody's got to remove the Dalek's pants.
Daleks don't wear pants.
Let's see.
Any suggestions from the viewers out there of what happens?
Yeah, it shouldn't just be us all the time.
I honestly think that what should happen is the next panel should look like Saturday Night Fever, that disco, and where all the lights are different colors on the floor, and it's all of a sudden everybody's disco dancing. Okay, Dale, this butt stuff is getting ridiculous. We're already seeing Beagle butt. What more do you want? That's perfect. That looks like it's flashing different lights. I love it.
I'm thinking it's Dale's poorly disguised fetish.
I'm gonna like the Daleks remove the Beagle Boys pants. It's now gonna remove its own pants.
Yeah.
And it's gonna wiggle its butt for Dale.
Well, I don't know if Daleks.
Maybe Dale's not into robot butt.
I'm gonna draw it.
Robot butt.
I need a caption.
Robot butt.
What's the Dalek saying?
Well, exterminate has to come up at some point because it's a Dalek.
Okay.
So exterminate pants.
Yeah.
Exterminate pants.
He's gonna exterminate.
Love it.
This.
And I'm gonna say my favorite pun: down with pants.
Down with pants.
Yes.
Okay, you guys, I'm gonna ask you something. I gotta ask you something.
I'm drawing here. I'm drawing down with pants.
It's okay. You gotta tell me, when you guys heard the joke, why did the chicken cross the road to get to the other side? How did you interpret that joke? Like, what did you think was like? What kind of joke that is? What kind of joke do you think that is?
So when I was a little kid, before I had a concept of death, I thought it was just like one of those like duh answers. You know, like this is one of my favorite jokes, okay? What is brown and sticky?
Old poke?
A stick.
Right?
Yeah, see, and that's what I thought the to get to the other side answer was. It's like, it's obviously to get to the other side of the road. And then when you get older, you understand the double meaning of that is to get to the other side of life.
I did not ever understand the double meaning. I always thought it was like a non sequitur or some kind of absurd, or as you say, a duh kind of thing. I never once thought it was the other side until somebody explained it to me like yesterday on the internet.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
It blew my brain.
You know, I did stand up, and you figure stuff out when you start writing jokes and you start examining jokes and seeing why they work, right? And then going, like, it was one of those like aha moments for me when I figured it out for myself, because no one told me, no one explained it to me. Right. And I went, oh, that's why it's funny. Right. Is because it means these two things. It's to get to the other side of the road, and it's to get to, you know, the afterlife. And so, yeah, it's funny. You know, it's funny. It's a good one. Okay.
So Magic Marmot says someone should come up with a battery operated drill to remove the Daleks' back panel. Do Daleks have back panels? I don't think of them as creatures that can be manipulated by other creatures.
No, this one's
no, but okay. No, you guys, you have to answer my question.
Back in the 80s, what is brown and sounds like a bell? Dung, says Dale.
You have to answer my question, because I don't know a ton about Daleks, but I got the impression that Daleks weren't like not manipulated, but you know how like R2-D2 can do stuff on his own?
Yeah.
He doesn't have...
They're autonomous?
Yeah, I thought Daleks were autonomous. I thought they were their own species kind of thing. I didn't think there was like a
there's a living thing. There's a living thing inside a Dalek.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So I don't think they have a back panel, do they?
This one does, and it's having its booty hanging out of it.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense.
Inside,
I gotta put you on the big screen.
Dale, you got your wish. You're gonna get some robot butt.
Let's see. The chicken crossed the road joke is a classic example of setup. Then the punch changes the expectation of the setup. It is so funny because the punch is so obvious. Yeah, I would agree with that. Okay, so exterminate this, and he's hanging out his butt. What happens after that?
Well, people have to be dancing, not just the Daleks. Isn't our crew? It's a dance off with our crew and the Beagle Boys? So shouldn't we show our crew dancing with their butts hanging out?
I'm feeling.
Well, the Daleks made it all about butts, but I mean, how the others react to it?
I'm thinking at this point, it's time to pull down some of the balloons of the ideas and gather them a little, and maybe Meow walks in when all this is going on.
Good call.
Yeah.
We should bring him back into the fold.
Yeah. So I'm thinking, you know, what's this, says Meow. You know, as, yeah.
Wait,
yeah, something like that. Let's see.
Do you guys know that the Tragically Hip
exposure tramp stamps for everybody, says Dale.
Do you know that the Tragically Hip have a song called Butts a Wiggling that was in the Kids in the Hall movie?
I don't know that one offhand. Let's see. Meow.
It goes like this. It goes, in my opinion, the drugs are ready. That's the like chorus of the Tragically Hip song that's called Butts a Wiggling. In my opinion, the drugs are ready, in my opinion. That's because I don't know if you've seen the Kids in the Hall movie. It's all about like a kind of Prozac kind of thing.
I did see it in a long time.
It was a bit confusing. It's not that. It's not. It was a bit disappointing.
I don't think I've ever seen it, so.
It's not amazing, but I love it.
It was the kids in the hall. It was good. Yeah, I remember going to see it, but it was like, oh.
There are moments that are really great, like when Bruce is channeling Danzig, and he's like got a song where he's like, "Some days it's dark, and I'm all alone." It was awesome. There's lots of great things. When Scott plays,
all right, I'll watch it again sometime. Yeah.
I'm not saying it's great. Like it is their obviously their show is the best thing ever, but
yeah,
the movie has its moments. The movie has some neat ideas. They tried really hard.
Did you watch the new one?
Dale asks if we're talking about brain candy.
Indeed, we are,
brain
Dale.
Candy, brain candy,
we are talking about brain candy. Sorry, what the new one? Yeah, I did see it, and I wasn't all that excited about it. I didn't love it.
They had some funny sketches, but yeah, it was like, okay, it's not really adding much at this point.
Like, the thing that's weird is before I moved to China, I downloaded everything by them so I could watch it when I was over there in case I got homesick. And I think on the very first episode, there was a skit I'd never seen before, and I was like, this is amazing! And it was still funnier than the new stuff they were doing. I don't know if you ever seen this skit. It was the one where Bruce McCullough comes back from school, university, and his mom is there and her friend is there, and you find out over the course of conversation that Bruce McCullough's character has been like swapping spit with all of his mom's old friends. And they're all like in love with him, but they're all like super old.
Great.
And so it's like this amazing romance, but he's like playing all of them. Really, I love them so much. Kids in the Hall is so good.
Let's see. I'm drawing Beagle Boys dancing right now, so I'm trying to do that. Exterminate this.
Right,
I love the fact that not only do Daleks have butts, they have hairy butts.
That does not look like a butt. It either looks like boobs or balls.
Yeah, it looks more like nuts.
Yep. It does not look like a butt.
Dalek's butt.
I think it should be down by its skirt bottom.
That would be funny because they're always sitting on their nuts.
Well,
you're not going to have me back, are you?
They're really asking people to exterminate them.
Yeah, exterminate this.
Exterminate me!
Okay, so yeah,
I think this is just how Daleks would be at parties. That's all. They're not really social.
Okay, so we have to draw Philo in here because.
Well, maybe this Dalek is like
They're social with other Daleks because they don't like to be alone. They get a bit frightened on their own. They are quite fearful. I mean, they're very pompous and like, oh, I can beat everybody, but then they're very frightened and they're like, oh no.
Let's see. No one listens to Canadian music in the USA. We have to smuggle in Harem Scarum and Sarah McLachlan CDs. Dale also says, put the butt lower and make it plumper. Kay offers, I got to see Bruce McCullough. McCullough, thank you. Live in Minneapolis a month ago. Also saw him live in a tiny Toronto college bar in 1987.
That's fantastic, Kay. If you want to talk more about it, I would love to hear it. Because Bruce is the one that writes all the great songs. He's the one that did These Are the Names I Know and Terriers and there's other songs too, but those are the two I remember the best. And I got to see the whole entire troupe when they were doing a tour, same guys, different dresses. It was like their very first reunion tour, and I saw them in Vancouver. I think it was like 98, maybe. But they're amazing.
Let's see. Popeye Bluto. I have to always look up reference for Popeye's Bluto.
All right.
Like he's been in it since the beginning, but I still have to like look up what.
Yeah.
Let's see. Master of Tangential Thinking. In the USA, when you cartoon a butt, you either have to draw on some freckles or a heart tattoo or a Band-Aid, says Dale. And then
okay, you're probably right.
I like the heart tattoo and a Band-Aid at the same time.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna do this and then put his hat on, kind of Kinda. It's coming along a little bit, sort of. It's in there. Are you done with your panel here, or are you adding the heart?
Well, I'm just adding a heart tattoo.
It's a good idea because Balls would not have a heart tattoo.
Yeah. I think guys would not appreciate
a Band-Aid. But Balls might have a Band-Aid.
All right. Well,
it's ambiguous. I think it's awesome.
Let's see.
A bit Harriet. That's what a Dalek beauty.
Okay, and then we're gonna have music playing. Okay, and then have the back of Meow's head, so I don't have to draw the rest of Meow. And with just like, what the hell?
You should put the record scratch noise. Like everybody's partying right, and all of a sudden it's like, and then Meow's like, what the hell is going on?
Okay, I will ask you, how do I put in the sound effect?
You draw like a line across the top of the panel, and then put E R R R R R and an S, and then another line.
That record scratch sound, that's funny. Do you remember, like, this is quite a number of years ago now, and then CNN got trouble because one of their lady reporters was having a show in the evenings, and they were using that scratch sound, but they made it sound like she was undoing her zipper. So they were like, you know, they had to avoid. They just about avoided getting cancelled. That was just before everyone was really getting cancelled. But it's supposed to be a record scratch, but nobody knows what a record scratch is anymore. That was the problem. They were like, young people don't know what that is. It just sounds like a zipper. So you could just draw a zipper.
I work with children, like literal 15 to 20-year-old children, and some of them are still in high school, and the ones that are in high school were like, they were telling me they use chat AI to do all their homework.
Yeah.
And I am so terrified about how dumb our children are getting. Like my nephew, he watches those 30-second videos all the time.
They come out knowing nothing. That's the thing about kids. Everyone's
but in the time span where they're supposed to be learning everything and being passionate about a million different things, they're not. They're not using their imagination. They're not daydreaming. They're not creating. They're not writing poetry.
Do you ask them to get off your lawn?
No, I don't talk to them. I just listen like an anthropologist. I'm just like, fascinating.
Yeah,
Yes.
I am going to try and teach Annabelle to appreciate like older things and stuff like that, and understand that there was a world that existed before she did. Mm-hmm. That being said, she is going to live in a world I won't recognize.
Are you going to teach her geography?
So far. Yeah.
But here's my question: are you going to sit her in front of her cell phone and let her play with it all day?
She has my old phone, and I put baby games on it. She doesn't play with it all day. She plays other video games. And she plays in her room, and she plays with us. We take her to the slide. She went swimming today before the show. I mean, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not trying to say I'm the best parent in the world, because I'm not. But I'm not gonna lie and say that I have not enjoyed the babysitter of the screen a little bit to get like laundry done.
Oh, Dale says Annabelle needs to watch Charlie Muffin as soon as possible.
Let's see. Of course, you could make it shiny butt with that cliched window highlight. What is this ambient industrial music? It sounds like Dr. Mueller's in Hamburg. It's called Down Tempo. It's the AI music created by Restream.
AI music?
Yes, it is AI music. I know. I'm
it's all right.
Games and video games are drugs. Smartphones are a drug delivery service. It's Dale. But Dale also, frowns on everybody who enjoys extracurricular anything, because he himself cannot hold himself around extracurriculars. So he abstains. So he thinks everyone else should abstain. Yes, becoming passionate about crafts is Magic Marmot. And then Annabelle needs to watch Charlie Muffin as soon as possible. Yeah. So, but that's my friendly critique of Dale. Is is like it's okay, you know, if it's not your thing, but yeah.
Well, I was thinking that they should make an anime of Charlie Muffin, and Dale would watch that. Dale said he hasn't watched. He's written off anime. He said no anime is any good. The only anime he's ever seen is Speed Racer and Sailor Moon.
No,
he has not seen Akira. He has not seen My Neighbor Totoro or any other Miyazaki.
Or Lane. We were talking about Lane at one point. That was awesome.
Yeah, you know, going Miyazaki Spirited Away might blow his mind. You know, that's
Away.
That's my favorite one of them all. I think is Spirited Away.
I like Spirited Away. It's not my favorite.
What's your favorite?
But to me, it's the most cohesive plot.
And there's so many beautiful, beautiful moments.
I really like Castle in the Sky, and I really like Nausicaa. I think I slightly like Castle in the Sky even more than Nausicaa for some strange reason.
Nausicaa is awesome. I was so lucky. I got to see it in the theater before I moved away from Montreal. They had like a Miyazaki festival there. I'd never seen it on the big screen, and I was just like blown away to see it. Like I have the comic, but Castle in the Sky, Laputa was the first one I saw, actually. My first Miyazaki ever. This was like in the late 90s. My friend was showing it. He's a comic book artist named George Metzger. He'd been doing comics since the 60s. Okay. He's one of the underground guys. They finally just did a collection of his work, and I think it was Fantagraphics finally put out a collection of his work.
So, anyways. So Dale says, I am old and bitter. And then Magic Marmot says, Akira rocks, Ghost in the Shell, Cowboy Bebop. You know,
Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah, I was going to say, Ghost in the Shell, like Cowboy Bebop. I haven't seen
Cowboy Bebop.
I've seen bits of it. I haven't seen it all through, but yes,
it's good.
Yes, Akira. I read Akira, and I used to see a lot of things. One of my favorite animes is Venus Wars from back in the day. I don't know why I like Venus Wars a lot. They're like, it's on Venus. She's like a reporter, and she goes to Venus, and Venus is having a sort of kind of a civil war thing going on. But there's people sort of living on Venus, and there's amazing like mechas. It was before there was any like CGI, and they're just like really some hand-drawn mecha things going on. Yeah,
it's the company that made Evangelion just shut down this month. And
wow.
Yeah, and I mean they did a bunch of other stuff too, but Evangelion was probably one of their biggest animes they did. And like the first season of Evangelion, the first run that they did, all of that's hand drawn, right? Oh, those big mech, the Evas themselves are hand drawn and stuff. And then in the latest one they did, they have CGI Evas, and they don't have the same life to them. They feel
they're animated mechas. That's sort of why I like Tank Police is another fun one I like quite a lot.
And then Dale says, "Oh God, did I say I saw Nausicaa, the Valley of the Wind? I used to watch anime in the '80s at Baycon when they only showed Speed Racer and Star Blazers on TV. I did watch Sailor Moon, but Sailor Moon is a child's anime." Right?
Oh, a lot of people would disagree with you.
Well, okay.
I know a lot of women that love that cartoon.
It is good. But let me finish. It is a coming of age story, and that makes it YA. So it is a children's story, right? It's just meant to kind of help girls identify themselves that they're becoming women in their life. Right? And the character does grow up with its audience. She has children. She gets married. She's an adult for most of that story. So I agree with you. Yes, it matured into an older audience, but it started out for kids.
So would you say that a 54-year-old man could watch it?
I think that it's not meant for a 50-year-old man to watch. I don't know.
I'm still going to be watching them when I'm 100, so I don't care.
So, I'm not saying that women can't enjoy it because, they grew up with it and stuff, but I still think it started out as a children's show.
Yeah. I mean, that's nothing wrong with that. You're allowed to like that if it's well made.
Yeah. I mean, I still watch cartoons. I love them, like kids' cartoons and stuff.
Yeah. No neck Joe.
All right, what's happening next here? We've got Meow walks in at the wrong moment, or the right moment.
Yeah, we have Meow walks in at the wrong moment, and I have Meow down here, and he's walking in and he's seeing everybody dance. And so it's up to you to draw the next panel. What happens? Does he stop him? Does he join in? You know, I mean, we still have the Kaiju Council observing this on a monitor. So
Meow's been an adversary this whole time. I don't think he would join in. It would just be too weird if he just changed. I feel
like we've got sort of 6 panels on a page here, so I feel like we got a little of a punchline we delivered with like Meow walking in.
I think you should show Meow's face and like his eyeballs doing that bulging out thing where they're like, you know.
Yeah, but we also have a half hour left to go.
I don't know I don't know much about Meow. How's he going to react to this?
You know, Meow is kind of a supervillain. So, how would you think he would react?
I think
so he's come to the money bin.
Steam would come out of his ears. I agree with Magic Marmot.
Working for Meow.
Let's see. Okay.
Essentially, they are. Yeah. Essentially, they are.
Meow
They're his new henchmen.
He disapproves of chaos, says Magic Marmot. And then Dale also said, I preferred the weird animations at the Spike and Mike Sick and Twisted Animation Festival. So do I. My favorite was Nana and the little Puss Puss from DNA Animation, who later produced Johnny Neutron. I loved No Neck Joe. Yeah.
Greg McCracken, the creator of No Neck Joe, went on to do, of course, the Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah. Yeah.
And also, Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, which is also excellent.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting. He was talking about how he was pitching other ideas for other shows. And, you know, everyone's like, nah, we don't want this. Hey, let's just do a reboot of Foster's. Right? And he kept pitching ideas for other shows, and all they wanted was to do a reboot of Foster's. You know,
it touched a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I've been to a ton of Spike and Mike Sick and Twisted. That's how I got into South Park. I got into a lot of stuff through Sick and Twisted. Like Home Honey, I'm High. I used to have a t-shirt for that con. Bill Plimpton, I just made friends with him on Facebook. The only reason I know about Bill Plimpton is because of freaking Spike and Mike. They should bring back Spike and Mike.
I'm going to do what Dale said. Dale.
What did Dale say? Okay, Meow is inscrutable. He disapproves of chaos. Have Meow have
Magic Marmot says Meow is inscrutable.
Then a subpanel zooming in on the eyeballs, showing that they have butts, eyeball butts. Home, honey, I'm high. I love that.
It was great. It was one of the classics from Spike and Mike. It was a great one.
It's more obsession with butts from Dale.
And what was the other one? Is Don Hertzfeld.
Don Hertzfeld was
the brilliant Don Hertzfeld. Never would have known who he was except for Spike and Mike.
Is there a reference for Meow?
He's a cat.
And he's wearing like a karate robe, basically.
Yeah, he sometimes he's in a karate robe, sometimes he's naked. But he's just a cat. He doesn't have any special look.
No. Or, you know what you could do? You could give him a special look, like a lightning bolt through one eye, and then all of a sudden, that's actually not the real Meow. That's the evil Meow. Okay. I'm just saying.
So I got everybody like, I don't know.
Yes, Lupo! I remember Lupo. Nice, Lupo. The Butcher. That was a good one.
Let's see.
I remember what else was it. There was always something really good every time you'd go. And because they had the two of them, right? It was the Festival of Animation and the Sick and Twisted. Good times. Vancouver always had like really great movies and films, and yeah, I have a lot of fond memories of watching movies in Vancouver.
Does wear any clothes?
He kind of wears a karate robe. You know, a little bit, sort of.
A karate robe?
Yeah.
All right.
You know, if you're going to dress him, he wears like a karate robe. Okay, so
it has that thing that goes over like this, you know?
So, have you been numbering your panels?
Yes, this is
Excellent.
panel 6.
Excellent. I appreciate that. Yes, I am on panel 7 now. I just wanted to double check to make sure. Remind you if you weren't.
You just finished panel 5 and you're about to do 7.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So I am leapfrogging over you.
Yes.
And we have
we're getting a lot of panels done here.
28 minutes left.
Wow, that went fast. Oh, well, also, I was gone for 15 of them.
Well, I mean, yeah, but that wasn't your fault. Like, you're only as fast as your equipment, And so,
speaking of, I wanted to have Colin on the show, but I couldn't because Colin doesn't have the technology to do what you and everybody else does when you can show the drawing on the while he's doing. He's an old school artist, so he doesn't have.
Not everyone's set up that way, and I had invited Dean Haspiel on the show as well, and he had the same issues that he uses pen and ink, and he's not set up with a webcam or anything to record himself. So I have to figure out what I'm going to do, or I might have to stick with digital guest artists for a while until I can figure something out. And so, well, my next guest I'm going to ask is Emmanuelle, and she's really good, and I know she has the tech, so I first got to make sure she has the time. So, because Saturday night is a popular night when you're young. Meow disapproves of the chaos. Says, or remember the classic Bambi versus Godzilla. Dogpile had epic dog rectum wiggling animation when the poop started leaving the butt. I'd laugh and laugh, says Dale. You really are kind of butt obsessed tonight, Dale.
Dale.
Yeah.
Bambi and versus Godzilla is Canadian. I just want you to know that. Okay. I don't think I've ever seen that one. What happens after Meow disapproves of the chaos? Do you want me to tell you about Bambi versus Godzilla? It's really funny. It's very short. Let's figure out what I'm drawing first, and then you can tell me when I'm drawing. So what happens after Meow disapproves of the chaos? Well, he can't do anything about it. He has really no henchmen because that's all his henchmen in front of him. The music stops, says Magic Marmot. Does this mean the record scratch noise? It's the record scratch noise. Okay. All right, then that is going to be my caption: is record scratch. Freeze frame. So in Bambi versus Godzilla, you see Bambi is like eating on and it's black and white, and she's like eating on like a grassy knoll or whatever. There's little flowers nearby, and the music's like that classical music where it's like do 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 do, like this bucolic sort of scene, and then all of a sudden you see Godzilla's foot come crashing down and smushes Bambi, and that's the end of the cartoon. I think I've seen that, actually. Yeah, it's old. It's been around forever. Yeah, I think I've seen that. Let's see. And then the music stops. Everyone freezes. Godzilla's Canadian bullshit. I have never heard him say sorry. And then honorary Canadian, says Magic Marmot. Sorry. Let me Google this. I'm pretty sure it's Canadian. Let's see. We're going to... one of my minions that I drew was a fish with like, he's like in a bowl of water, and he's got like octopus metal tentacles. Whoa, that's intense. Yeah, so that's one of the guys I drew, and so he's gonna be dancing, I guess. No, remember Godzilla flexes his toenails at the end. Oh, sorry, I didn't. Right. Yeah. I see. Okay, so we're gonna have that, and then he's gonna look. I guess we're gonna have Dalek's look. We're gonna have Beagle Boy's look. You know, I don't know. I'll figure it out. We're gonna have all this. What is all this booty shaking in my money bin?
I'm gonna clean that up a bit.
Yeah, you know, there hasn't been a lot of dialogue in these. I mean, occasionally someone will yell something or whatever, but it's been almost a silent comic the whole time.
Yeah, I wasn't sure about that. I saw that the Dalek was speaking though. So. I thought it was okay for him to say it or something here.
Well, like, I think once in a while it's okay, but, you know, I don't want to, like, have a lot of dialogue. Because I like the idea that you read the caption and then you see the drawing, you know? But I don't know. I'm
a pro art comics. I mean, like Dinosaur Comics with Ryan North, that was very popular, but it wasn't really comics. It was more writing, or it was some sort of exile. I mean, he's a clever writer. I don't know.
Yeah.
But that was a writing comic.
Okay, Straw Burger. Let's see.
Holy cow! So the guy that did Bambi vs. Godzilla, he's Canadian, but the film Bambi vs. Godzilla was drawn when he was a student in California. But he also did storyboards for Barbara Papa, which is like a Belgian...
Oh, I know what that is, yeah.
Yeah, they're cotton candy guys. And then he also animated Gary Larson's Tales from the Far Side.
Oh,
and he now teaches at the Vancouver Film School. That's awesome.
Yeah, I've seen the Tales from the Far Side cartoon. I've only seen it once. It's very hard to find.
Oh.
Yeah, what it is it's like going through a bunch of his different comics, and you see it zoom in on a fly, and then the fly will like come home, and then it's like one of the comics, and then it like they turn on the TV, and it's another scene on the TV. Yeah, it's kind of cool how it just kind of goes in and out of the different things. So. Mm-hmm. Let's see.
I'm actually drawing Philo here. He's also. Is Philo a he?
Philo is androgynous.
Androgynous, okay.
But they all have bums, both boys and girls, and theys and G's, and all in between. They all have bums.
That's the one thing that unites us all.
Yes.
Yes,
Gail unites us all in his love of bums.
I'm trying to show the cuteness of my cat right now. Because he's just being adorable. You know,
doing a big stretch.
Yeah, he's got his legs like up on the wall. Yeah, and so that's where we're doing that. And then Trans-Asian says Magic Marmot.
Trans-Assassin.
Yes.
Trans-Assassin.
Let's see, and then
did I ever tell you about when I?
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
When I drew Dr. Dig, who was like this archaeologist. They were this archaeologist character for this magazine for kids. I was doing them for years, and they were like very like at first. Dr. Dig was like they said no. Dr. Dig's androgynous. Mm-hmm. And so they wanted me to do Dr. Dig androgynous. So I did it, and I was doing it. And then I was sort of leaning more and more towards just doing Dr. Dig as a man. So I was like, I'm a man, and I was sort of doing manly things. Mm-hmm. But then they said, no, now we've decided we want Dr. Dig to be a woman.
Okay.
So then I started doing Dr. Dig. So then I thought, okay, like now Dr. Dig's going to transition. So he became more and more feminine for a while.
Well, Dr. Dig had to live as a woman before, starting HTR.
It's good, yeah. I sort of took they went through the therapy, and they were good, and it was all good in the end. I can't remember what happened in the end. I think they decided to go back to someone in the middle. There was a character, Alan Moore did that in Halo Jones, the second Halo Jones book. There's a character that's had sort of.
I only have the first one, so I don't think I've read that one.
That's a better one. It's a good one. That's maybe as good as the first one, definitely. The third one's
I only have Durham Red. I have the Durham Red collection and the Durham Red action figure.
Ian and I thought of something today that made me laugh. Judge Hammer 40K. Where it's like Judge Dredd and Warhammer together merged.
Do you guys not know who Durham Red is?
Yes, I do. She's a Sonstrontian dog, female bounty hunter in the future in the Judge Dredd universe.
And she's like a vampire.
Oh yeah, and she is like a vampire. Yes.
But she's really funny. Like one of the things I remember in the comic is she's like trying to figure something out, or she's trying to get something, and these people are like, oh no, we're in your thrall, and she's like, it doesn't work like that. I'm not doing anything. You're not in my thrall. oh, please don't beat us. We can't control ourselves. And she's like, I'm not doing anything.
Well,
I
maybe
don't know. I really
like
liked your character. She was a cool character.
It's like a pheromone that her body's releasing that she has no control over, and then that's what enthralls people. You never know.
Yeah, in the Judge Dredd universe, what happens is that in the Earth of the near future, there's sort of increasing mutants from radiation after the atomic wars, and then there's a very horrible politician who rises to power, sort of scapegoating the mutants and all this. And Johnny Alpha, although his parents were sort of quite wealthy or whatever, is a mutant, and it sort of hit it. And then so he ends up becoming a bounty hunter. And that's the only job that's really available to mutants in the future, is to be bounty hunters. So she's a mutant. So she's quite glamorous looking.
In some Canadian.
Yeah, she's got this crazy red hair.
Who Durham Red is. I haven't followed Judge Dredd since the 1980s, says Dale. So a bung load would be a metric system measurement. Love the tentacles, says Magic Marmot. Also, a bung hole. What is it? A bung load is actually a real unit of measurement in winemaking.
I don't know. I'm not a wine drinker.
Yeah, a bung. Yeah, sure. I think that sounds about right.
I was also going to add, though, that in Canada, we would have two expressions for bum. We would have the bum in English, and then la fesse in French, which is the other version, right? Because in Canada, there's always French and English and French.
Mm-hmm. Today, I felt pretty good about speaking Spanish at the pool. I made sure a little girl was okay by saying hasta bien. And, let her know the water was cold. Yesterday, I let my neighbors, I asked my neighbors to please not leave any trash when they were drinking out in the parking lot. Like they did the last time. Too. Yeah, I did. I did. I said, no basura, por favor. And I pointed to the dumpsters and I said, basura, aquí, and like, no basura, por favor, mi casa. Cuatro gatos, 4 cats, so that they knew which one was mine. And so, yeah, I felt pretty good about my Spanish this week.
Dale knows the answer to the question.
Wait, a butt is the measurement. It's particular barrel size. See, I knew it was like a bung or a butt or something. A bung is the
butt. A butt
in the
is
bung.
A water butt. Yes.
Yes.
You have like a water butt.
That's right. A butt load. That is the actual unit of measurement. Is a butt load.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh no! Is that what we were supposed to be doing? That kind of butt, and not.
I don't know.
I've been drawing actual butts. I've been drawing
actual butts too, so I think it's okay.
It's too little. No, I should say it's too many butts, too late.
Right, I think I can get one more panel in 15 minutes. I just did panel 6.
Okay. So I'm doing record scratch. That's where I left off. So what would be after record scratch? What would be after record scratch? Like, he stopped the music. And he's not dealing with this chaos. He doesn't like it. So what's going on? Let's see. A regional English measure of capacity of a heavy cart containing 6 seams or 48 bushels, equivalent to 384 gallons, a large amount carried in a butt. And then Meow dismisses them, says Magic Marmot. So.
He's going to say you're fired.
Sure. You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
Or would he just lose his mind because he keeps getting foiled time and time again? And then he have his eyes going all swirly, and 2 guys show up with a straight jacket to put him in the loony bin.
Well, how would they know, instantly, that he went crazy? We haven't seen him really go crazy.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You show that he's gone completely zoodles because he's tired of getting foiled constantly.
Or does he take his robe off and start shaking his booty too?
I mean, would he have to defeat them in a dance contest to get them back working?
Is that what we want in the story, though?
I don't know. We ended up in a dance contest in his money bin. I imagine he would be upset that they're in his money bin more than anything else. You know, less with the dancing and more with the fact that his wealth is at risk right now.
Dale says that Meow screams, "Don't scratch my vinyl." I think you're right, Amber. I think that they're in his vault. So, does he turn all the lights on?
Well, I mean, record scratch, so, like, he stopped the party. Let's see. Oh, we are gonna use an effect here. We're gonna use an effect here. Oh, dragging it over. Oh, yeah.
Maybe he has a group of other henchmen that are like bigger robots than the Daleks, and those guys were like on a mission elsewhere and they just came back, so he can actually like get them to do something with everybody else that he's pissed off with.
I don't know. Let's see, I'll do that. So we have, you know, these lines. So it looks like very dramatic. Very dramatic. Don't scratch my vinyl. If it is in his treasure vault, that is where he keeps his vinyl records, says Dale.
Yeah, I see what Dale's angling at there.
Yeah. About like someone scratching it, like maybe there's a DJ in the corner, you know, since they were having a dance off. I don't know. I'm gonna look at your last panel.
It's a DJ chained to the wall that Meow keeps there forever and ever and ever, so that he can have a dance party whenever he wants.
Well, I don't think he planned on having a vault dance party with his minions and stuff. Like you know.
No, he didn't. But what if he does on his own? It's his vault, and he has special vinyl in there. Like that Wu-Tang album that only 2 people have supposedly ever listened to, but now that's not true anymore. You know what I mean? He's chained up and he's there waiting because Meow always wants to come in and have his own private dance party. Don't make Andre the prisoner for life.
Magic says the DJ should be the octopus bartender.
Don't make Andre the prisoner for life. No.
All right, so I'm gonna do Meow going, "Don't scratch my vinyl," and the octopus bartender's like on the turntables. Like
I like Dale's idea. You should read Dale's idea.
The DJ is the prisoner in The Wizard of Id, hanging in chains, DJing with his feet. That's the DJ? It's a guy hanging in chains from the
like the old school prisoners.
Yeah. I could see that. You got 10 minutes, so this is going to be your last panel.
Get to drawing.
Okay. All right, I'm going ahead. I think I'm going to do the octopus bartender.
You're going to do Armand?
Oh, I'm so sad. I don't want Andre to do that.
Well,
he'll be trapped.
What is the caption?
The caption is
don't scratch my vinyl.
Yeah, don't scratch my vinyl. Yeah, don't scratch my vinyl. I like that. Yeah. Let's see, 10 minutes. I sort of have enough time to draw another panel after that, but I think Don't Scratch My Vinyl is a good end to it.
Yeah.
How do
I spell vinyl?
VINYL.
Yeah.
I have news.
VIN.
If you guys want to hear my news.
YL. Yes.
As of today, I am a landowner.
Nice.
Ooh.
How'd that happen?
It's
Get off my land! What?
It's my inheritance.
Nice.
Oh.
From when my father passed away. It took like 3 years, but I finally got it.
Where is it? What is it?
I want to say congratulations, but it's at the behest of your father's death, which is not swell.
Yeah. It's 5 acres in Landers, California. So it's in the high desert. Kind of Apple Valley-ish, north of Palm Springs, way east in Southern California.
Ooh.
And so, it's like.
What did he do with it?
So John Chambers was a film special effects guy. And he worked on Planet of the Apes and Star Trek.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, just a bunch of stuff. And he retired in Lake Elsinore, which was close to where we grew up. And my dad worked on his house, and they became friends. And so, they bonded over the fact that they were both artists and, had similar backgrounds, going to school and stuff. He started out in construction when he was a kid, John Chambers. And so he like got my dad, being an artist and a general contractor and stuff. And so he had no children. And when he passed, he bequeathed the property onto my father. And my father just didn't do anything with it for all these years. And when he passed away 3 years ago, he bequeathed it onto me. So I have the land. So as of today, I am officially a landowner here in the United States. I can vote.
Oh, well done. Congratulations. All right.
Property taxes come up in November, and they're about $400 a year. So yes, I've already done.
There's no property. Is there no property on it? It's just the land.
It's just land. There's not even an address. It doesn't have facilities or utilities or anything. It's just land.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But you could park a trailer on it.
And own slaves, said Magic Marmot.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. Yeah. Let's see, Gen X baby total daywalkers.
I believe anywhere in the world. That's not.
Yeah. But my mom, loved my mom, but she kind of dragged her feet for a while. She kept making excuses and stuff to not do the right thing. And, I got frustrated with it for a while. And now I don't, it's all in the past. And so, yay. I'm officially a landowner. So, yay.
Cool. Can you send it to me on Google Earth so I can have a look at this?
Yeah, it's literally dirt in the desert. Like there's
so it's more south. It's more south from here.
Yeah, I'll send you a sort of a link to where it's at. But like I said, there's no address. I have a parcel number, from the assessment, like the assessment parcel number, like that. How it's registered with the San Bernardino County. So yeah, nobody is making land anymore, says Magic Marmot. And Google Maps Landers CA, says Magic Marmot.
No one's making land.
Landers CA, okay.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Magic Marmot.
Yeah, no one's making land anymore. Yeah. So
well, I don't know. There's a large amount of it in space. What there isn't in space is prehistoric forests. So there's no plastic in space until we discover life out there. But we know there's lots of gold and lots of land.
I might parcel out the land because there's 5 acres into 5 different plots, and then sell 4 of them and keep 1 for myself. So I'm thinking about that. I don't know. I want to buy a house, and it'd be nice to get out of apartments and in a house. So you got 4 minutes, by the way, Chuck.
Well, I hope you can figure out how to do that. That would be a good idea. It's a good time to do it now, with the young kid and everything.
Yeah, exactly. And so between Ian and I starting our jobs next month, and technically I start this month because I start orientation this month. So yay.
Yay. Well
4
done.
minutes, says Dale. You got 4 minutes.
All right. Well, this panel's a little rougher than the other.
That's okay. They're all rough. It's like I said, perfect is the enemy of done. I prefer it done. Yeah, and it's usually I'm drawing to the last second, so it's kind of nice to just kind of sit back and watch you draw for a little bit.
Well, I do like doing the quick draw. I do like doing the quick draw. See, I'm not even doing the underdrawing now. I'm just going straight into the black on this one, so it's a little rougher.
That's okay. I find that my drawings are cleaner with an underdrawing because I figure stuff out with my first few lines.
Yeah.
But you've seen my underdrawings. They're just really sketchy. They don't make sense to anybody but me. Let's see. You have 45 seconds, Chuck, says Dale. And then love the eye lines, says Magic Marmot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, the perspective is great.
Yeah, don't scratch my vinyl. You're like, oh no.
Oh dear.
Yeah, Armand is basically like the millennial of today of this story, is because he's working multiple jobs just to keep afloat. You know,
okay, yes, poor millennials, yes.
Yeah, he apparently is a spy and a bartender in the stomach realm, and now he's DJing.
Oh, I don't know. I'm tired of millennials. So moaning lately. They're the moniest generation.
They're the bemoniest generation. Really, not the baby boomers.
No, I don't know. Baby boomers quite bad. It's every other generation's good. I think you better count yourself as a Generation X.
I was born in 1983, so it depends on the chart.
Yeah, you're on the cusp. You're like
no, she's not, because I'm on the cusp and I'm 75.
Yeah, and Ian is
75. I don't think 75 is a millennial. I think that's still solidly Gen X.
No, it's Gen X. And I'm pretty sure you said she was a Gen X.
No, I said she's on the cusp between a Gen X and a millennial.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, Ian's 76, and he's definitely Gen X. Me, I was born in 83, and I feel like a millennial because I graduated in 2001 from high school. So that's why, because I was still in K through 12 during the millennium. I consider myself a millennial. Yeah, but like
you consider yourself. Yeah, okay, well. Yeah, but you've got a lot of good qualities too.
I try. Okay, so don't scratch my vinyl. That appears to be where we left off today. I love Meow up there.
I love everybody.
It's apparently we have a ton of minions in his vault dancing around for his treasure, and he doesn't appreciate it. So this is a good place to pick up next week. I don't know who my artist is going to be next week yet. I have a couple feelers out to people, and we'll see who gets back to me first. So I want to first bring up like we'll shut you down, and then we can see that my cat is gone. And then let me bring up my panel. So this was my panel where record scratch there.
Cool fish guy.
Yeah. Again, that's one of the minions. Is he's a fish with like his bowl and tentacles and stuff. Chuck Whelon, thank you so much for coming and being my guest artist today. I appreciate it, and thank you for keeping up with me art wise. And I can talk to you for hours. You know that.
Yes, we can pass away. And Robin too. I love you guys. Thank you. That was really fun.
All right, I'm gonna close down your window, and then that's me. But first, I'm gonna say goodbye to Miss Robin. Goodbye, Miss Robin. And I know you're a little late today, but that's because of technical issue, and that's not your fault.
Doesn't happen all the time, right?
Yeah, no worries. And you're awake now.
Yeah,
and so that's
I stayed awake the whole time. Amazing.
All right, I will see you next week. And then everybody who tuned in today, thank you so much for tuning in and making sure that this crazy story continues. I appreciate all of you, and I will see you guys again next week. So have a good one.